not believe it? What?
Jack Easterby is quite a topic of conversation because there was a 75 scrolling expose about him in Sports Illustrated. I understand that the right, maybe like a way to just act like that's not happening is like, well, if we had a coach, this wouldn't be happening. It's like I think Deshaun's problems with the owner and Easterby, and it feels like Deshaun's not the only one because there's a bunch of other people that have, who normally don't speak out, have come down from the top rope on that particular situation as well. And you're like, well, those are future lyrics. Well, okay, so why were those lyrics chosen then? Why do you think he was on a 2, then he took it to a 10? You think he was just feeling that in that particular moment? He's just like, you know what, now we're doing it. You don't think that there isn't real. You don't think that any of this is real at all? That he doesn't want to be there? You think just a
damn,
meeting
Tom
like
Pelissero just tried to go to. Oh
I'm not
no,
saying that it's not real. Again,
you feel me? We white, we don't get it. Roll. My boy Pat McAfee said, nigga, we all listen to Future. Shut up, bitch. Texas, he said, if we all listen to Future, shut up, bitch. The Texas is fucked up. I like that.
What is the plan from Deshaun Watson's perspective? He signed a long-term deal with the Texans last summer. I think it was in September. We've also seen that there are star players throughout the league who have realized that there is power in the things that they say. There's power in the things that they tweet. That I think lends an air of believability to the entire thing. We've seen guys like Stephon Diggs.
You feel me? There we go. Okay. So you feel me? I'm out here just getting started today on a nice little Wednesday. I'm just cooking it up and getting started a little bit. It's a few variety of topics we could talk about. You feel me? Not just NFL. You feel me? Not just political, but it's a bunch of stuff going on. Shout out to Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. We're gonna start with Kamala Harris over Joe Biden just because I think it's worth acknowledging and understanding that I think this moment right now that we're going into politically and all of those things, like what we saw yesterday, are definitely a lot about though. You feel me? Is that mean my mic on? Or did that mean my mic off? Audrey,
what?
Say hello to YouTube.
Fuck your YouTube, nigga.
I can't believe you.
Hi.
Audrey in here. Yeah,
You gonna cut that out during editing, or you can leave it in there?
No, I'm live streaming because I'm working on starting putting my show back on YouTube and shit. So this is a live stream. But you leaving?
I said it first.
You feel me? Audrey, did you leave yet? Oh, I was trying to ask the black woman how she feel about Kamala Harris real fast. Give me one moment. But more than anything, you feel me? I thought that was pretty dope and pretty big because I think we're in a world and in a moment right now where we're seeing a lot of women empowerment and a lot of change and credence and love being given to them for who they are and who they want to be. A lot of ambitious women out here. But I think, and this is something that I said to somebody yesterday, is I think that it's dope to see this moment and to have seen that because I think it also speaks to duality. And I think balance in our world and being unbalanced seemed to be one thing that we was kind of losing. And I think it continues to perpetuate itself out and you continue to see more examples. But I just think like the dynamics of at least on a trio basis, right? The Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B effect and that women empowerment in terms of women is taking advantage of their time for their money versus a Beyonce, Oprah Winfrey type of figure in our world type, you feel me, who again, that's with entertainment and things like that in the form in a way in which a lot of black people and minorities feel like that's the only way they can get in, right? And then again, entertaining still, but a little more street perspective and how that, goes on to women making their own money and the usage of people trying to necessarily get over on them for their body and their looks and using it on their own. And then you got, you feel me, a Kamala Harris or Michelle Obama, you feel me, in their dynamics and what they represent. I think that's a beautiful spectrum to see because, again, we always be trying to just put women in one box and to allow them to show themselves across the spectrum. Again, you feel me, I could run the ball, throw the ball, and I could catch. That says a whole lot. Audrey, my question is what did you think about seeing Kamala Harris get inaugurated yesterday? Like, as a leader, a woman that's a leader, as a young woman who, again, is a black woman, as a young woman, we were just talking about, again, people, grandparents come from Jim Crow, pre-slavery days and things like that. So like that, just as a black woman, seeing, again, we done had the Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion coming of age where they showing women that you can put yourself on and be the boss and ain't no nigga gonna tell you how you gonna get it. We done seen the Beyoncés and the Oprahs in our world.
It just reminds young black women that education is key. We, as a society, we have failed our black children by not reminding them that education plays a major role. People like Shirley Chisholm, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Coretta Scott King, so many people, they got educated first because at the end of the day, the way grandparents raised us was education is key. Education is invaluable. So at the end of the day, yeah, you can run fast, you can shake your ass, but that only lasts you for so long. But your degrees, baby, that's for forever. That's for infinity and beyond. So it just reminded me that there is still a glimpse of hope in our community. And it's not just dribbling a ball, knowing how to shake your ass, subjectifying yourself in this community. At the end of the day, it's like, yo, she came from the gutter just like we did. She came from fucking Oakland. That ain't nothing pretty. And now you are the fucking first female vice president, soon to be the first female president, because it's gonna happen. You manifested it and it shall come. But it's amazing because at the end of the day, now I have something to tell my daughter. Was like, yo, I remember when Kamala Harris got in office. I contributed to that. And now we see why there's so many other women. And it doesn't just, and it's not singling out just black women, Latinas, Asians, Filipinos, Cambodians, Chinese, Asian, all different walks of life have the opportunity to do what she did. And it's a positive example for all communities that, yo,
and I think,
we did it. Like,
and I think, you can do it. I think it's dope too, because one of the things I was talking about is duality. Again, it's always gonna be somebody who's gonna get it, and they're gonna be a dancer, or they're gonna be a little woman hustler. It's also always gonna be somebody who's gonna be a Oprah Winfrey or a Michelle Obama, or excuse me, not Oprah, Beyonce. You feel me? But then again, like, it's also cool to know that there's a balance too, because again, you can find people who are a part of.
And it reminds us that black is beautiful. Like, come on now. Like, this woman comes from a Jamaican. She's Indian and Jamaican. Black is beautiful. Come on now. If you don't love yourself, how the hell you gonna love somebody else?
True that. In all shades, that's true. So, I think it's dope because, again, I think the element that she presents and is presented by, I keep mentioning somebody that my attention been on lately is like a Serena Williams.
I don't get paid for these interviews.
Well, holla at you.
But all right, my G, I'll call you when I'm on my way home.
All right.
And how Boosie went INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that means?
All right. See you later.
She got her own office. She got her own car.
Good job. Work hard. She a bad
bro. All right, bro.
All right, man. And somebody like Serena Williams, who, again, the female LeBron James. Whenever she got on in tennis, they were saying she finna be the shit in tennis as long as she finna be in tennis. And she been the shit in tennis as long as she been in tennis. And ain't never had no issues, never had no mistakes, nothing like that. Never, I think that's impactful. Oprah Winfrey, the craziest shit folks didn't have to say about Oprah was the shit from this year. Like Beyonce, again, above reproach in a lot of people's eyes and a lot of people's perspectives. And then to now add, again, Michelle Obama, who I thought could have won the presidency this year if she had ran. I think Michelle Obama would have killed Donald Trump this year. It would have been too easy. And I think she would have killed Hillary in them 4 years ago. So I think, like, when you look at it, it's a beautiful moment to go ahead and to show that women really could do anything. And we know that they could do anything because we be watching. I'm a kid from the inner city. Many of y'all may be, many of y'all may be not. Or may not be, excuse me. But again, we done seen our mamas and grandmamas do so much. And it's like, to see this moment, it was a crown jewel. And, understanding that it is truly about the work that you put in and the opportunities that you set yourself up for. So I think that's amazing. I'll reach my move goal, guys. Make sure y'all get up and move today. I took a jog this morning when I woke up. You feel me? I ate a good breakfast. I did my push-ups. I owe some more. I'm working with y'all right now, sitting down. So you feel me? We got the ZSPN, the business of myself, fully moving, rolling, and going. And that's where we will transition to next before we get talking in sports and all of that stuff. You feel me? At the end of the day, one of the more important and poignant things, important and poignant together. We're gonna make a new word, and poignant. One of the more important things for me right now is understanding that these moments and these opportunities that we have is really all about us. You know, and you gotta understand where your game is and how your game works and fits in, right? I kind of use that as my perspective on transitioning a love and appreciation for sports coaching and refining of skills into my own life and going into this first half of my life, under my control, and seeing how I can transition and translate the things that I understand and know into ways to help myself, right? Oh, they got here with the damn long. So, you feel me? I think one of the things that has been so important for me right now and for myself is that I want to be able to now in this stage truly kind of push myself through into the places that I want to go. I think I spent a lot of time feeling as if I needed somebody to be alongside me to get to these places. And granted, you do need a team, but a lot of times before you get to the place where you need people beside you, you on a dolo run to get to the place where people recognize you needing to be on that stage or being at that level. And I just had a conversation recently with one of my aunts, you feel me? And one of the things that she had said to me is that, people got to have a reason to follow. Now, I always felt like I was the type of person that I gave people plenty of reason to follow based off of solely a lot of times the fact that I want to do it. My desire to do it at times I push other people to. But what it is I'm starting to understand now is that has to be a perpetual motion. And to the point where people have to continue to see, even when you are in a stage of waiting for your crops to grow, they have to still continue to see you going out there and weeding and, you feel me, fertilizing and all these things. And if you don't show them that, or if you're willing to be open and explain to them, well, I'm just waiting on a part of the process for the process to now open up and change, I think you begin to lose sight of what your goal is, and people begin to lose sight of what it is they truly are in with you in it for. So I think these moments are pretty dope because I think if you go on my channel, right, and you go look at the last year was very much so me maybe starting to put it together, but not asserting myself. And I think the beginning of my 2021 has been me pushing myself to do exactly that and to assert myself in a manner in which practices exactly what I preach, right? Because I think a term that I've used a lot of times, and some people that have had substantive conversations with me have heard me say this. You feel me? Being in uncharted space, so to speak, in your life, right? When it comes to moments or places and spaces that you put yourself into or onto, or efforts and journeys that you go on, being in the uncharted territory, for example, as an astronaut in space, you got to be willing to understand and continue to push on into that unknown for what it is you're going to turn back and turn around and give to those at the space station, those at Mission Command, right? So again, those at the space station, Mission Command, those back on Earth, is your folks who may necessarily be on their own journey, but they definitely are taking cues from you on seeing how possible it is. And for me, it's like at this stage right now, I think within wanting to build this outlet and this brand to another level, I think this is the most impactful and important time for me now, because I think I kind of got an understanding of what way in which I need to prepare and push myself in order to make it happen. And I think that's all about something that is very much so important and poignant to me as well, and poignant to me again, is being willing to go there with yourself. You can't sit back and complain about how the things didn't happen for you or how the moments didn't turn around and and it didn't become what it should have been if you're not willing to go to the gym alone at 4 a.m. If you ain't willing to do a few extra sprints, if you ain't willing to lift a few extra weights. And again, that metaphor may apply to sports, but it applies outside of sports to life. We all sitting through our life and we going through things that do I want to go do a few extra push-ups? Do I want to go for a walk today? Do I want to go for a run? Do I want to make food instead of buying food? You feel me? Do I want to reach out to somebody instead of being prideful? Do I want to you feel me, change and look at my perspective openly in order to say, okay, well, maybe I'm shitty in this regard because of this, and I need to push myself to change. And it's a spectrum of all of those things, like all of those things. Do I need to take care of my certification? Do I need to do this, do that? Like all these things. And when it comes down to it, for me, I think like that'll be my defining moment of of this stage, because I now understand too. It's a lot about the concept of being undeniable. Something I used to be on like 2-3 years ago, stuff like that, with a lot of people that I was creating with and working alongside. And it's like one of the things that I understand now, though, about the concept of being undeniable is also about the work that you put in. It's not solely about how you feel. It's not solely about what you can articulate. It's about what people, when they do see, when they choose to, because you can't make them see all the time. A lot of times it's about when they choose to. But when people decide and they choose that they want to be a part of, or they want to take a honest eye to what it is you're doing, when they take that honest eye, the honest eye is only an eye looking to find what it is will validate what they feel. So again, being undeniable is truly, I think, pushing yourself to be in a position to where the deniable is undeniable. I'm not going to give you any opportunities to come and take me out off of something simple. And I think that's kind of one of the stages and phases that I'm in right now, and it's poignant to me. It's very poignant and important. It's poignant in terms of the fact that, again, it resonates with me and the vibes and the energy that I feel in my own life and the desires and things that I want to push myself to do. That's poignant. That those feelings resonate. They're impactful. But then again, what makes it important though is that this drive in me is because, again, it's something that I want to achieve and accomplish. But these things are important to me. Being able to share my perspective, blossoming and growing it, and refining my perspective as well. Having refined my perspective last year and got to a different place, and then refining my perspective through 2020 into 21. So, it's a very interesting moment, because I think it's all about what it is we put in to the variety of moments that we are experiencing and to the times that we're going through. But at the same time, like, you know, who is this lady? Okay, so while I'm in here talking about all of this stuff, let's get to the sports into the show. Zspn 21 with your boy, the Z of the Zspn. Zachary's sports perspective and news. You feel me? So we got a lot going on. We got conference championship weekend. It's 4 of them left. Kyrie Irving just played last night for the first time back with the Brooklyn Nets and KD and James Harden. I'm not sure if James Harden played. Kyrie, if I'm not mistaken, drops 32 or 37. They lose to the Cavs. Granted, that's probably because Kyrie ended up scoring at that 30 clip and was asserting himself into the game. Colin Sexton, though, good young talented guy at the University of Alabama, one of the first draft picks, if I'm not the first draft pick post the LeBron era. 37, scored 20 straight points in the fourth quarter / overtime. Rest in peace, Ted Thompson. Wow, Ted Thompson, former Packers general manager, architect of a lot of very good Packers teams. If I'm not mistaken, one of the architects of the 1996, 97 Super Bowl, architect of the 97, 96 Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. And then also, I think he was a part of building, even though that may have been Ron Wolf, may have been a part of building and working and helping to build the Green Bay Packers Super Bowl championship team with Aaron Rodgers. Rest in peace. But I'll start with the NBA briefly for a moment, because I was talking about Kyrie. I think it's pretty interesting to see that dynamic because, I think nobody wants to be wrong. So again, instead of us calling out Kyrie for what has to do with basketball, getting caught up prior to all of this other, his family stuff, his personal stuff, don't have nothing to do with money stuff. I think that the media, because nobody wants to be wrong and be the one that has Kyrie because he will be, or KD because he will be, or Harden because they will be, because they just like that. You can tell they're going to have the last laugh type of mentality guys. I think Kyrie should take a little bit of criticism for the fact that, again, my boy for sure got caught at a party or whatever. Granted, that could have been an old video, could have been a new video. I think that in itself is definitely something that is worth having a conversation about when it comes to what Kyrie Irving got going on. But at the same time, I understand real ballers ball, and big ballers have the opportunity and the credence and the freedom to do what it is they need, must, and can. I think it's pretty interesting though, because I think they have to find a way in which to come to peace with what that lineup is going to be and how that lineup is going to play off of each other. I see it as some nights it could literally be whoever's team. Some nights it's the Kyrie team, some nights it's the KD team, some nights it's the Harden team. But I think at the same time, I think you have to find a real potent substantive balance. I was just talking to one of my coworkers the other day, who you'll see on the show in a few weeks. Shout out to my boy Fazo. You feel me? The Lakers and the Clippers, I think, matchup wise, could fuck that up. Because I think when you look at it, you can go ahead and put Kawhi Leonard on a KD or a James Harden, which I think James Harden to be the one that you need to try and minimize, pester, bother, and get off their game. I think you go ahead and put Paul George on KD, because KD gonna do what he gonna do against anybody. So why would you waste letting the X factor, who I think the X factor is James Harden, not because he's better than KD, but because he gonna make himself the X factor. We know what KD gonna do. We know how KD is proven. But in them clutch moments, we don't know who James Harden is. We've seen it every year. I think the problem with them against the Lakers is again, I don't see how, at least right now, granted, there are going to be things to change. We already know how this goes. The first time it's a big out on the market, the first time it's an opt-out or a buyout contract guy on the market, or a guy cut a release, he's going to probably be a net. But DeAndre Jordan cannot guard Anthony Davis and Marc Gasol and LeBron and them going into the paint with the dynamics of everything that they're going to be trying to set up with Trez and everything. I just don't see him off top being able to guard all of them and stay out of foul trouble. He only got 5 fouls, and the guy is not Hakeem Olajuwon defensively, or David Robinson and none of them dudes. So I think that's going to be tough on him. I do think the interesting thing is that it comes down pound for pound to who your other guys are versus who my other guys are. I think Lou Will probably could get out there and get it in with Kyrie on that level. And I think Pat Bev can go ahead and chase Joe Harris. Dennis Schroeder versus Kyrie and Joe Harris and those guys? No, I don't. I think that's about matchups. I think that's about setup. I think that's about scheme. I think that's about play calling and everything, that goes into the dynamics around the game. What I thought was pretty interesting was seeing the Bucks and those guys go, down to the wire with them. But at the same time, I also do understand, acknowledge, and know that that's also some of these games going to be close because these is their first time playing. This is their first games playing with each other. They learning the rotation. This is a head coaches who ain't never been no head coach, first time being a head coach. So again, my boy sitting up here kind of learning on the fly, putting it together, learning how it's going to be going and kind of deciding and figuring out how it's going to be going. And again, they still managing to find ways to, at the end of the day, and at the end of it, get the ball to who needs the ball in their hand. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how that is going to shake out. Just because I think now you're looking at it, and I think it's on them to win the title, right? I think they kind of are in, like I was saying to my coworker recently, the topic I was talking about. I think it's on them. They are in the Miami Heat level of attention. They should be favored to win the title. They should be favored to win the series, every series they go into. And again, if they don't do that, that should be a little bit of an issue, correct? Like that should be a little questionable, a little daunting. But we'll kind of see how that goes. And what's interesting too, Steph Curry been heating up, guys. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is going to bear out to or where that's going to take him. But he's been heating up a little bit. And he's been at least been able to lead his team a little bit and kind of put them in positions to be galvanized by him being Steph Curry. And that's something that I did want to see this year. And kudos and big shout outs to him for that. You feel me? And shout out to Kyrie Irving for all of the philanthropic deeds and things like that he's been doing. Because at the end of the day, people for sure need that. And being somebody in the position that he's in, though, it is dope that he's doing that for people. Because at the end of the day, he for sure don't have to. He for sure don't have to explain himself neither. That's the thing. You feel me? I got this beef with Kyrie because I respect the game. And I feel like, Spider-Man type shit. To who much is given, much is expected or whatever, heavy is the head that wears the crown. So you need to step up at all levels, like LeBron. You feel me? But everybody is everybody, and everybody is different, being everybody, and that's the biggest thing. So it'll be pretty interesting. I think right now, if I would say my conference championship predictions for the NBA, I for sure say I think in the East right now, I think it's Brooklyn and Philadelphia right now. It's not Philadelphia. Philadelphia's who my heart out of nowhere came to say. Brooklyn and Boston right now. I'm gonna still ride with my Brooklyn pick that I was fucking with in like September, October, or whatever. I was talking about Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn and Boston, just because I feel like Boston, this day time to get back there again, and they didn't put themselves in position and they're developing. Jaylen Brown out here making a few plays, doing his thing, making some moves and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go with Boston to start right now until things change. Because again, I think they still got some assets and some pieces. Then when it comes down to it, it's still about matchups too, not just about players. And the reason the Warriors was able to be so uberly successful, and again, Toronto was able to make some things and some situations happen to win, is the Warriors mainly is because of matchups. You go look at that Warriors roster though; they was able to be multiple and switch, kind of like how the New England Patriots played in the NFL defensively and offensively. Sometimes we need to run the ball. Yes. Granted, our go-to is Tom Brady's ability to understand and know the defense, but we need to run the ball, get there, throw the Gronk. Let's do that. Defensively, we need to be able to be multiple switch. We need to be able to play big front, little front, nickel, cornerback, passing league, defense, all of that. We're going to do that. That's what the Warriors was on. We need to run. We need to shoot. We need to run 7 seconds or less. We need to goddamn run off picks. We need to run a little bit of a bootleg, ugly triangle. We're going to do all of that. 3-and-D, we're going to do all of that. That's how they were. So I think that Brooklyn's biggest thing is now that they haven't made them trades without having a lot of them assets on the team, and again, still having them assets. I think they could have got there with the Spencer Dinwiddie. I don't think they had to make this trade. I think Kyrie Irving forced their hand. We may look back in the future, in the 30 for 30 will speak to the fact that this was all a strategic plan by Kyrie and KD. But we know that they forced the hand. Kyrie forced the hand of the organization in bringing James Harden in by the amount of time that he was sitting out, because I know that they was looking at it and saying, this can't be how this gonna go. So matchups. I definitely think matchups can blow that whole thing up. But I know KD is the ultimate matchup. So when it comes down to it, if them other dudes just do their part, if Kyrie just become a 20 and 17 and 6 dude, there ain't nobody stopping that. Listen to what I said. 20 points, 23 points, 25 points, 16, 17 assists, and 6 rebounds, or 6 steals, or 6 rebounds and 2 steals, 3 steals. That's so, that's one of those dynamics and elements in that. I think in the West, I think we're going to see a Lakers-Clippers. It's either going to be Lakers-Clippers or it's going to be Lakers versus Nuggets or Lakers-Portland. Lakers, no. Lakers-Clippers, Clippers-Mavericks, or Lakers-Nuggets, Lakers-Clippers, Lakers-Mavericks. That'll be it. I think the Mavs got a chance to make it. I think the Clips got a chance to make it. I think Denver then was the number 1 seed in the West last year, the number 2 seed in the West year before last. They went to the conference championship last year. This year they bringing all them dudes back, minus Jeremy Grant. So that team is going to be something to factor with. So now, bounce around. NFL Conference Championship Weekend. I'm going to be posting a video on my Instagram. You feel me? This weekend. Probably get it done later today. For Conference Championship, we got Aaron Rodgers. Hey, Aaron, the motherfucking GOAT, man. Look, if y'all thought I was playing and niggas was sitting up here thinking that it was a game for me, man, come on, man. I can't even put it on because I'm so hopeful and so worried, man. Come on, man.
Get in the NFL 22.
Pat McAfee, real briefly, will read us Tom Brady's statistics since turning 37.
This is since he has turned 37. He is now 42, 43 at this point. 43. So this is 6 years
in the postseason.
He has 14 wins, 3 losses just in the postseason. 5,544 passing yards, 37 touchdowns, 14 turnovers, 7 game-winning drives, 4 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowl wins, 2 Super Bowl MVPs. In comparison, Peyton Manning, I believe this is his entire career.
Yeah.
His entire career. Peyton Manning's entire career. We just compared
In the playoffs.
Tom Brady after
37.
turning 37 years of age to now putting 3 losses just in the postseason. 5,544 passing yards, 37 touchdowns, 14 turnovers, 7 game-winning drives, 4 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowl wins, 2 Super Bowl MVPs. In comparison, Peyton Manning, I believe this is his entire career.
Yeah.
His entire career. Peyton Manning's entire career. We just compared Tom Brady after turning 37 years of age to, now this is Peyton Manning's entire career. Wins 14, the exact same. Losses 13, 10 more than Tom Brady's had.
Peyton was
Pass yards,
50
he had
50 in
2,000
the
yards
playoffs,
more.
and they be
Total
on that.
touchdowns, 43
And again,
more,
so is
6
Drew
more.
Brees. No.
Turnovers,
But that's what I'm
41,
saying, bro.
obviously.
Okay, so look,
Game-winning
they talking about
drives,
this and all of this.
Tom Brady's 7,
All
6,
this
turnovers.
makes me think about when I see that. When I see 14 and 3 since turning 37, though, I'm sitting up here saying, okay, that is a great team.
But even he has more than Drew Brees and everything, obviously, throughout his entire career. Aaron Rodgers, 19 games in the playoffs. And Ben Roethlisberger looks very good in this thing. But if you start breaking down what Tom Brady has accomplished.
Again, Big Ben got 37 touchdowns, 31 picks.
It is unbelievable whenever he retires, and we're getting to the Hall of Fame like 5 years after he retires. The stats that have been, the graphics that are going to come out of what he's accomplished and everything, it's insane. And obviously, you have to be on great teams to be able to get to the postseason, right? And they don't count on
Okay.
the postseason.
So you feel me? You got Aaron Rodgers, the GOAT, to me, the greatest thrower of the football, greatest pure quarterback, period, versus against Tom Brady. To me, this is a dope matchup because at the end of the day, I've been a Aaron Rodgers fan. I've been an Aaron Rodgers stan. I done sat there many a cold NFC championship afternoons, fucked up on the inside because Aaron Rodgers got dog. His team got dog walk, but he balled. Shout out to the Atlanta Falcons 2016. Shout out to the Seattle Seahawks 2014. Shout out to the Arizona Cardinals 2015. Shout out to the San Francisco 49ers 2020. But I think this is a pretty interesting matchup because if anybody is going to go ahead and take opportunity to check out some of my play analysis and commentary, just what I noticed is the Packers have a very good scheme set up right now where they're coming up and they're lining up in a split back formation. Aaron Rodgers in the middle right now. On the defensive side of the ball, you got a 5 D lineman front, 5 offensive linemen front, 5 on 5. Behind that, you got a middle linebacker, 2 split backs, Aaron Rodgers on the offense. Again, so 5, this is the defense with this right hand with the green band. 5 with the watch is the offensive line. Split backs on this side closest to me is 1 running back. This would be A.J. Dillon, for example. This would be Aaron Jones. I'm going to diagram this just with my hands exactly how I went. Aaron Rodgers here in the middle. Excuse me. Okay, so granted, 5-man front, middle linebacker back here. That was Troy Reeder this past Sunday, right? So this is the 5-man front, Troy Reeder on the backside, 5-man offensive line, right? What they were doing is coming in the split back formation, for example. They coming back in split back formation. My head in the middle is Aaron Rodgers. What they were doing is they were taking Aaron Jones, primary back, in the formation, and they're gonna take him and they're gonna motion him on a jet sweep motion almost out of the backfield, leaving 1 running back in the backfield. Now, defensively on the other side, we're gonna make this Troy Reeder. Troy Reeder on the other side now, when he sees his guy move out of the box, his running back goes out of the box. This guy here comes out of the box, Troy Reeder's coming with him. So granted, that's exactly that. Just what y'all seeing is what Aaron Rodgers was seeing now with just this guy in the backfield, lined up against the 5-man front. They running it right down the middle. Bam, right out. The craziest thing about that is going into this next game that they're playing, I thought they may have had a better opportunity to run that successfully against Tampa, but I know that Tampa is a good, talented run defensive front. Bam. So that leads to a problem because, again, they beat them earlier in the season. They had a hard time running the ball, but I know that was one of Devontae Adams' first games back, if I'm not mistaken. White and David are hitting shit. Levante David and Devin White out here on some 1995 shit, 1992 shit, 2005 shit at linebacker right now. 2000 shit, like they out there playing with Ray Lewis and shit. But again, going into the game, possibly having to play the Saints, I thought the Saints would have been a bad matchup for the Packers in the run game as well, because they do play the run game very stout. And then again, they got two corners on the outside that can match up with everything. One thing is it's going to be interesting to see how Green Bay, with that setup and that desire to run their scheme like that. One of the things that I did like is I like seeing Jalen Ramsey and Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams challenged Jalen Ramsey. Now, granted, Devontae Adams has 66 yards. By the statistics in the cornerback matchup, I think the cornerback won, even though he had 9 catches for 66. That's volume catches, 1 touchdown off of a run around, pick route, NBA type touchdown. Okay, he ran this way, ran that way, came back, pick, miscommunication, whatever. But I don't see Tampa's DBs being able to cover Aaron Rodgers. And I think when we look at that video that they've been posting today with Aaron Rodgers saying we got to get a conference championship game at home and things like that and finally having it, I know he's coming out again. He's coming out with a lot to prove. Cute little baby. But at the same time, I think that it'll be a lot about situational ball matchups and missed and made opportunities. I think that linebacking core between the two of those guys, I think they're going to be ready for the challenge. Granted, I think the Green Bay Packers offensive line is talented. I think they dodged a bullet dodging Aaron Donald. I'm from LA. I got my boy jersey. I'm a Rams fan and a Green Bay Packers fan. Those are my 2 favorite football teams on this earth. Did it in the pros. Shout out to the Florida Gators. Y'all know how we rocking. I think yes, we can tout Elton Jenkins and what he was doing and all of this stuff. But again, Aaron Donald is playing interior defensive lineman with torn rib cartilage. And again, I don't think he was wearing a flak jacket. I don't think he took a shot if he did. And again, by the end of the game, by the second half of the game, wasn't playing very many snaps. I don't think he played very much at all, if I'm not mistaken, in the fourth quarter. So again, now you got Ndamukong Suh, you got Novita Vea, you got Shaq Barrett, you got JPP. Now, granted, they wasn't over here blasting and wrecking shop. The Saints did run the ball well. The Saints ran the ball well with one back. Excuse me. AK-41 was running that thing tough. But the ways in which they'll set that up, the ways in which that'll be dictated and things like that, it'll be pretty interesting to see. I think it's a 10-point game depending on who make plays. I think if Green Bay can come out there and they can make the type of plays that they've been making, I think if they can come out there and keep their offenses running and humming, I think if they can free Devontae Adams up, I think if they can contain and deal with that front. Right now, it's a 51-point over under. They're talking about 110 points right now. 3-point game. That's the spread right now. 3-point spread. Like I said, missed and made opportunities, I think, can dictate this game. If, again, Green Bay is trying to run the ball on 3rd and 3, and they're not able to convert simple 3rd and 3s and simply able to sustain and get a few extra yards after contact, like how they did against the Rams, then they're going to lose. Because, again, see, that's the other thing right now. Devin White, you can take Devin White, and Devin White, I think, probably will be the primary move him out the box dude. So, again, they want to come in and they want to line up, split back with Aaron Rodgers down the middle, and they want to sit up here, and they want to run split back with Aaron Rodgers, and they want to take Aaron Rodgers, and they want to move Aaron Jones out of the box and keep one in. Well, Devin White is going to follow that ass. And you still got Levante David in there inside the box, prospectively. So that's going to be pretty interesting because, again, that then turns it into a one-on-one inside of the box. The Rams was playing a lot of 4 DBs, 5 DB front with one linebacker in the middle of the field. And, again, Troy Reader was tackling dudes up here like this. We know he ain't tackling shit doing the damn Frankenstein. He ain't tackling shit doing the motherfucking Frankenstein at motherfucking all. So, you know, and, again, we've seen Devin White and Levante Davis rapping, throwing all shoulder. So it ain't this. I think it's a 10-point game, instant made opportunities. Again, and when I say about 10-point game, instant made opportunities, the Packers capitalized on their made opportunities and didn't have any missed opportunities. The Rams didn't make their opportunities, and the Packers capitalized. Aaron Rodgers threw an interception in the end zone. Troy Hill didn't catch it. Somebody else had another one, didn't catch it. They dropped 2 interceptions back to back, and he just trying to get a play. You could take points off the board right there. Gave him up. You feel me? Pressures, quarterback pressures. Aaron Rodgers was able to make certain types of plays without feeling and worrying about a backside pressure from the defensive line. Because, again, ain't no Aaron Donald coming through here. The longer you hold the ball, regardless of anything, you know that you got to get rid of the ball when you got 99 out there. No 99 out there. I don't really got to worry as much. I think the final score will probably be. I think 27-10, 27-14. 27-14. Yep. 27-14 with a chance for it to be 27-30. I think 27-30, or excuse me, 30-14. I honestly think might be the final score, 30-14 in favor of Green Bay. But I mean, that's all about made opportunities favoring Green Bay at home in the snow and stuff like that. And that's the thing. If it's snowy, I don't have no faith in Tom Brady. Not that I don't have no faith in him, but again, I just seen what I watched from him physically last year. I watched him look just as bad as Drew Brees, and just Drew Brees just looked shittier last Sunday. So you feel me? In a modest score that is close to the best, that is not taking any risk and not high faith on one player's just ability, improvement, whatever, I think the score will be 17. Man, fuck, I can't tell, because again, it's hard when you're looking at it, because you sit up here telling me Tom Brady going through the snow. Granted, they're gonna have Ronald Jones back, probably Leonard Fournette. They're gonna run the ball a lot. But when it comes down to scoring touchdowns, I do think that the Tampa Bay skill position dudes are better than the Green Bay guys. But at the same time, I don't know what I'm getting from Tom Brady throwing that ball. So I would say, again, I think Aaron Rodgers is good for 25 points. I think 27-10. That's what I'm saying. 27-14. That's it. I think 27-14, maybe 17-27, honestly. Second game, a lot into that. Bills Mafia is one game away, and I was just telling my coworker I don't see Kansas City being able to beat them with the Henny man, with that bottle of Henny. I don't see them coming in there with a bottle of Henny getting it done in the club conference championship. If they got to play the Bills Mafia, feeling like they looking at the old cardiac, the K gun offense Bills and all of that stuff. I don't see them going ahead and getting that done if they got to play with Chad Henne. I think the baby Bills gonna go ahead and whoop their head if that's how it's gonna be. But I think with a healthy Patrick Mahomes, we don't know what level of healthy that is. I think it's a game. I think again, same new week, derivative of the old question. It used to be, how do you stop 85? This year in the league, the question is, how do you stop Big 14? Big Dig. Because that man right now has just shown to me, I think he's one of the greatest receivers of this era. Very quickly, very early. I'm going to have to put him over Odell at this point. I love my old boy OBJ. But you know what? I got to give my love to Stephon Diggs, man. He ain't never fell off. Yes, his situations and quarterbacks may have been better, but my boy ain't never fell off. And I mean, my boy is balling right now, beating defenses about the head and the face with his hands and his feet. It's ridiculous. And I don't see a corner in that red and yellow and white, the McDonald's colors that can guard that man. But I do know that there's a man wearing that 32 that is a first ballot Hall of Famer in all of my eyes. These two and this one, first, second, and third eyes. And he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. In all of my eyes, first, second, and third, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. That is the landlord, Tyrann Mathieu. Number 7 in LSU in your heart. Number 32 in your Kansas City heart. And number 1, arguably, to me in the safety game right now in the league. And probably been that for the last 4-5 years. I mean, my dude is amazing. And I mean, the ability to lead his defensive secondary and to get those guys to play at his level, I think it's something that is amazing, because, again, you can get that from a quarterback doing that with a receiver. Offensive lineman with offensive lineman. Aaron Donald and they D-line, because the attention he get, yes. Jalen Ramsey, again, on Rams defense, I love talking about my Rams because I like the culture rebuilding, even though the coaching staff and all that shit is looking fucked up and the front office is fucked up and they don't know what the fuck they doing and they all that, fuck all that. We looking at Tyrann Mathieu right now be able to galvanize and really be able to change and get guys to play above their head and above their level. Rashad Breeland, do y'all remember a few years ago Rashad Breeland getting baptized in Washington by Antonio Brown on Monday night? You probably don't, because it was memorable for AB, but we all hope we forgot that ass whooping we watched. You feel me? Breeland last year in the Super Bowl played an incredible game. And again, back in Kansas City, playing incredible again this year. Tyrann Mathieu is leading them dudes. They done keyed up and fleed up. And again, them standing up and winning that game the way that they did last week was a big deal. And it's going to bring them into this game with confidence, because if they get their dude out there, okay, it may take them a few drives and a few little plays and a few, a quarter to get ready, to get right, to get back to himself. But once he rolling and going, rolling, we rolling on the river, baby. And I think Kansas City definitely can get the rolling. I think it's going to be tough, though, because I think it's not about matchups for them. I don't know what's the deal with CEH. I don't know what Clyde Edwards-Helaire's status is. I haven't seen a lot of them. I know I was watching Williams and Les Bell play a lot. I don't see anybody guarding Tyreek. Just for the sake of, again, eventually you got to guard him one-on-one. You can't put a whole bunch of fleeted dudes out there. You got Travis Kelce down the middle. Granted, Edmonds is going to take him. Poirier over the top. Micah Hyde over the top too. Tre'Davious White one-on-one with Cheetah, right? But at the same time, I think with the dynamic ability to call plays and manipulate and create situations, and then again, Cheetah's a baller, man. Y'all seen that? That was against good quality. Okay, the DBs is not that good for the Browns right now. But that was a big moment in the game, man. And you kind of knew where the ball might be going if it was going. My boy Sky made a big play. So he won it. And he believes that he's one of the best receivers in the game. What it'll be interesting to see is the Chris Jones, Tyrann Mathieu tandem matchup versus or against Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Because, again, you got a D lineman versus D lineman after the quarterback and a DB landlording against the receiver. How am I going to make sure that I put our team and our secondary in position to capitalize off the possible pressures that guys like Chris Jones and Frank Clark can make? That's what it's going to be about. That is going to be one of the more important moments in the closing of this game. So we're going to see. I think the final score of that game will be much closer. I think that score, regardless, is probably I think that score, regardless, is probably going to be 21-23, 21-24. Excuse me, 21-24 for sure is going to be the final score. I think it's a pick 'em. It's a toss-up game. Until I know the final status of Pat. And granted, Chad Henne came in and won that game late in the game. But what I feel and what I think, though, is I think that it's pretty tough to imagine or to believe that, you feel me, they're going to be able to replicate what we watched on Sunday for 4 quarters against a team 1 game away from the Super Bowl. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how that's going to bear out and how that's going to shake out at the end of the season, at the end of the day on Sunday. But I think it's going to be a good Sunday of games, man. I hope everybody stays healthy because, again, this past Sunday and into this playoffs, we seeing the young generation now have to play through injuries. It's not all sweet and collegey and fun no more. So, it'll be pretty interesting to see how all of that works. But we're going to see. I got to go move my car, so I'm going to end the stream right now. Shout out to all of y'all that are going to watch and that will watch. Like and subscribe. Please share this. The ZSPN 21 vibe. You feel me? The ZSPN Digital Archive, we officially opening it up, man. And it's going to be a variety show of a variety and a multitude of topics. Today was ZSPN Thursday, NFL playoff preview. I hope everybody's well. I hope we all staying positive, motivated, and focused. And I hope that we all pushing ourselves to the next level because I'm going to continue to try and push y'all and push myself. So I'm thankful and I'm appreciative. You feel me? This is light bare bones, just off the top of my head. I'm going to get a big board to sit in front of me so I can really go through my topics and stuff like that. But, for it to be early and for it to be, this time that we at right now, it's pretty dope. So shout out to y'all and thank you for watching. Peace. Be blessed. Be wise.